Hi everyone, Thomas here. There's been some decent response to my little blog post on the stitching of a pano, single row pano off the A7, and I thought I'd throw a video onto the end of it showing the print itself coming off of the 9900. Just take people through it, do a little screen capture, little rough video. Hope you guys like it and check it out. I'm going to do a bunch of videos. These have been really fun. I'll focus on the development of the image. For now, I just want this little quick, easy video to be about actually getting it out of Lightroom to the printer. So with that in mind, I'll just take you through a sort of step-by-step. So we just hop over here to our paper size. And the first thing we got to do is come down here and throw a new paper in there. So you might recall that originally I wanted a 20 by 40 image. That's what I talk about in the article. And so I'm going to print this on a 44-inch roll with a 2-inch white border around, meaning we want our page size to be 44 by 24. That's the name of it. And then I come here and put those actual dimensions in. Height is going to be 22. Oh, sorry, 24. And I turn all of this to 0, the margins. I like to control that myself. And okay, and then the orientation is going to align itself in the control module here. Boom. Now, this was set up from my last job, so I'm just going to move that over to one column and one row, one image. Now, this is the number here that I like to really focus on, the pixels per inch. So at the size that we talked about, look right here, cell size, we're going to go 40 across by 20 inches high. And that's spitting us out a number of 284 pixels per inch, or equates to roughly 78% of what I deem to be a technically perfect print, which is a 360 at native resolution. So I'm just going to quickly take you through this side here and show you all the little buttons I click here. So this one here, print resolution, there's that 360 number. Now, we can have a debate about if you should just let the printer do the upresing, Lightroom, blah, blah. The reality is I'm already putting in a really great file to the printer at the 284 pixels per inch. The little bit of upresing that's going to happen, I believe in the people that work at Adobe know this stuff pretty well. So I like to let them handle the upresing. 16-bit, again, that could be a whole nother argument we could get into. Why not, simply? Why would you ever throw information away that could potentially help you? Now, coming down here, color profiles. This is where it gets tricky for a lot of people, but I'll try to take you through it. So, right now I just have 2 profiles loaded on this. Our luster profile is here. It's built by Epson. I trust that profile because I've been lucky enough to pick the brain of Jeff Shuey. He says that the Epson profiles are pretty solid. I'm of the belief if you're have any awareness of the sort of fine art print industry, Jeff Shuey is kind of a demigod, if you will, in terms of knowing all this stuff, and it's good enough for him. Trust me, it's good enough for all of us. Now, perceptual, rendering intent, and relative. This is interesting. This is actually, I'm just noticing this now, new to Lightroom 5. It gives you a description of the two. I'm going to get into that in greater detail in a further video. But anyways, let's get this file ready for print. So just click over here on printer, default settings. Make sure you don't print out 15 copies because that will waste ink and paper. You shoot down here to printer settings. We go to basic. So this is the paper we're printing on, premium luster. Yep, awesome. And we're going to turn on 16-bit. Super Photo 1440. So there's a higher setting there. I was lucky enough to talk with Mark Dubovoy about this very thing. He claims, and just in my own testing that I've done, that 2880 only gives you the smallest ink drop possible on the print head, and the 9900 can print 3 different size droplets. And when you print at 1440, it uses those three variable size dots. And the beautiful thing about that is it does give you slightly better toning and gradations, potentially at the cost of micro detail only when you're looking under a loupe. My whole philosophy is if you need a loupe to see some sort of imperfection that's not visible to the naked eye, all the power to you. I don't have any interest in doing that. Now, here's one other setting here, high speed, that sort of as the industry's matured, as the machines have gotten better, things like this 9900, you truly can leave it on high speed. And I will for in this case. If someone's printing a piece on a 9900 that's going to hang in the Louvre, I say, let's just turn that off, get that maximum lay down and saturation in the sheet. Again, to the naked eye, there is simply no visible artifacts whatsoever versus high speed, and which is it lays down ink in both directions, and when it's off, it's just laying it down in the one direction. So anyways, that's kind of it. So why don't we go ahead and take this through to print. I'm just going to click print here. Oh, and I noticed my Ethernet cable's not plugged in, so we won't get any